Hey guys, King of Triumphs here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you the strongest Scrafty team for Open Great League. I didn't want to just do all Flying Cup stuff. Flying Cup stuff is very, and if you don't like Flying Cup, there's Open Great League. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But this is the strongest Scrafty team statistically for Open Great League now for Season 11. It features Jellicent, Nidoqueen, and then Scrafty. So this is a very interesting team because you don't really have a true Say Switch. It can win against Grass Hole if you take alignment. So if you lose the lead against Shadow Victreebel, you could Say Switch with your Sitch would be Nidoqueen because you want to put Scrafty in the back. If you get a Sableye Say Switch, you're going to throw Scrafty onto Sableye. So I'm going to show you how to kind of juggle around and how this team works. But coming at number 2 at a really high rating, this team came in at, let me double check, out of 562. So it kind of so it's 0.2% better than the strongest Grass Hole team. That sucks. But yeah, statistically, this is the strongest Scrafty team. So this is the strongest Scrafty team for Open Great League, and hopefully it does get you some dubs if you like Scrafty. There was a lot of Scrafty made its way into the top 5 twice, I believe, but out of all those teams, this is the strongest team. So hopefully, if you like Scrafty, this team works for you. And before we get started, this is going to be my therapist mental health tip. My therapist mental health tip for the day. If you would like to skip this, all you have to do is go to the chapters on the description and then go straight to the battles. Now, for my mental health tip of the day, it's going to be stress management. So, Therapist Aid, it has this stress management, a brief description of it. So, it's actually pretty dang good. So, stress management is something for our daily lives, and it's really, you're going to be stressed out all the time. Well, not all the time, but if you're doing something, you know what I mean, if you're working out, etc., there's stress. Now, there's good stress and there's bad stress. And when it comes to the specific stressors we're trying to treat, here's a little example. Work, deadline, bills, homework, chores, and the list goes on. The demands of daily life pulls us in all different directions, requiring time and energy that we don't always have. At some point, just maintaining a to-do list becomes a to-do on its own, and when these demands grow out of hand, they may lead to the all-familiar feeling of stress. So this is a great tool to give you a lot of education, a lot of psychoeducation. That's what's called when it comes to mental health, etc. And this is a great mental psychoeducation when it comes to stress. So you have it's a great list. If you want to give it a read, definitely give it a read. It also shows acute symptoms like physical, your emotion, not just your emotional, but physical and also behavioral things such as restlessness, social withdrawal, substance use, and procrastination. So, if you don't know a lot about stress, which most of you probably don't, and how to treat it, because most people don't go to therapy, so definitely look at this and take a look at it. It's very valuable for everyone. It's also really thorough, so I'm very surprised. So, yes, look at this if you would like. And this is the strongest Scrafty team, the best and top Scrafty team for Open Great League. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. You're gonna see me kill a lot of Bastiodons. We got Medicham onto Jellicent. Yes, we win this lead, but you probably can guess what's in the back. It might be Bastiodon. But we get a Melmetal. My brain is like, Melmetal Say Switch? And I'm like, what? So, even if this was like a Bastiodon or like, say it's like a Registeel or something, all you're gonna do is switch into Scrafty anyways, and Scrafty's just going to literally headbutt it. You know, I never got Scrafty's animation. Like, it doesn't punch anything. You literally, like, headbutt, like, heavy metal headbutt the unholy crap out of something like it's a death metal concert or something like that. I'm a pretty big alternative fan myself, I'm not gonna lie. But all you're gonna do is farm down the Melmetal, if it was already Registeel or anything like that, and then we're gonna foul play this Medicham. Even though Medicham, it does neutral damage because Medicham is also a fighting type. Dark is resisted by fighting types, but psychic types are weak to dark. And our opponent isn't shielding. I'm like, why? So now our opponent is really hurt right now, and my brain is like, maybe it's not a Bastiodon in the back because he didn't shield anything, or it's something worse, and it's a Trevenant. Down a shield, this is actually, I'm actually in a whole lot of trouble, and because I'm not counting, I mean, I subconsciously count, but the thing is, at a 2-to-1 shield disadvantage, I can kind of sense that this Trevenant is going to be able to get to a Shadow Ball and a Seed Bomb. So I have to guess correctly here, and I don't call it correctly. So this Shadow Ball is going to go off, and I'm in a whole lot of trouble right now. Shadow Ball goes through, Linda KOs my Nidoqueen, and literally I'm going to have to pull a win condition out of my booty right now. So I'm going to fire this Bubble Beam in an attempt to bait this last shield. My mission here is to literally Bubble Beam the unholy crap out of that poor Medicham in the back. Because I was able to debuff this Trevenant, this Seed Bomb shouldn't kill, and hopefully I'm going to be able to finish a win condition here. This Trevenant, as you see, Medicham comes in and they fire a move. I'm hoping that's a pup. If it's anything other than a pup, I'm probably going to die, and it's an Ice Punch. So as you see here, Ice Punch is really rough, but I'm hoping that this Bubble Beam is going to be able to get this Medicham low enough so that I can get to another Bubble Beam and finish off this match. And sure enough, I do. With 1 HP in a dream, Mr. Pringles and its delicious flavor. I'm not sure this is the original Pringles. And then Bubble Beam goes through, and that's GG's. My God, that was a sweaty matchup. So yeah, I thought for sure I was gonna lose that one, but with proper energy management, I was able to get the dub, thankfully. And now, speaking of Bastiodon, remember I told you about Bastiodon? There's the Bastiodon, and then we got a Sableye Safe Switch. When you see Sableye Safe Switch, you're going to throw Scrafty into him. Fun fact, if you get one foul play through shields, you can go and farm down Sableye. You can't get hit by a return, but you can eat a foul play. Foul play goes through, and this is great. After foul playing, I will shield here. This is likely going to be a return. If it's not, they jebaited me. The jebait is real. And as you see here, since you get that one through, you should be able to just farm down Sableye. This is a foul play. Sableye can't get to a return and foul play after you're able to hit the first one. So as you see here, you can safely farm down, and they have to throw a foul play at you. You have all this energy left. You know your opponent has a Bastiodon, so they're likely going to throw their back row, and it is a Trevenant. Trevenant doesn't have a great matchup in Scrafty. It does have to Seed Bomb Scrafty to death, but it's also not a very comfortable match for you because you're in Seed Bomb range. Even though you do resist Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, Seed Bomb does a decent amount of chunk damage against Scrafty. We're able to break both shields here. Our opponent should end up firing their move, and I'm just not going to shield. Keeping that shield, we should be able to just take out our opponent here. I have Nidoqueen, even though it's not a Shadow. Shadow Nidoqueen Earthquake does a ton of damage against Bastiodon. As you see here, I'm going to shield this next move just in case it's a Shadow Ball. All I have to do is watch out because I can expect my opponent to switch so that their Trevenant doesn't catch a Shadow Ball, and I'm correct. As you see here, all I have to do is line up against this Bastiodon. I'm going to fire this Earth Power here. You have to Poison Fang and then Earth Power to KO this Bastiodon, but the reason I don't want to do that is because I don't want this Bastiodon to get, I don't want the Trevenant to get any extra energy. What happens here if I Earth Power down this Bastiodon and that Trevenant ends up farming me down, Trevenant does win CMP against a Jellicent, and if they do happen to get to a Shadow Ball, I'm pretty screwed. So all I'm doing here is trying to keep it so that my opponent doesn't have that win condition intact. I want them to take out my Nidoqueen because all I have to do in this instance, as long as I land the Shadow Ball, Hadouken, Kamehameha, Turtle Wave the crap out of that Trevenant in the back, I should be able to safely Bubble Beam down this Bastiodon because I have good energy management. As you see here, just manage your energy. I just go to 100, fire the Bubble Beam, and then this should allow me to Shadow Ball the Trevenant in the back, and that's game. So just being patient, managing your energy, taking out the Wall Face. Goodbye, Wall Face. No one, well, some people like you. A majority don't. Well, we're going to do a Shadow Ball down here. The Dark Hadou goes through, and then Akuma. And yeah, I played Street Fighter back in the day, and getting, y'all that played a Street Fighter, you know you have to do that little code to get Akuma. I failed it so many times, but yeah, that's why anyways, instead of bringing about bad memories of my days when I played Street Fighter with my friends back in the military, as you see here, all you're gonna get is a Walrein versus a Jellicent. So this is a very neutral matchup. It really depends on like if you're able to get a Shadow Ball through shields, but at the same time, Walrein does have to hit you with an Earthquake. I shield this one, and it does have to be an Earthquake, and then I'm going to go ahead and fire this Bubble Beam. I actually misplayed terribly here. I try to overcharge, but I should have started a bait for the shield. This time around, I'm not going to shield this. It's an Earthquake, and then what I'm going to do is going to fire this Bubble Beam, hoping to grab a last shield. I actually undercharge it because I want to farm down this Walrein. So I will undercharge, and then I want the full farm down. My opponent sends in a Frostless. Because they switched in really quick, I think they wanted to like catch a, I was not sure why you'd want to catch a Shadow Ball, but just in case they was a Shadow Ball, they elect to shield, which is great because that little bit of energy could pay off later. We're going to send in Scrafty, and because this Frostless is -1, we should be able to live an Avalanche pretty healthy here. I'm going to fire off this Foul Play. I still have a shield. I should be able to Foul Play down this Frostless if my opponent doesn't shield this Foul Play, and it does go through, and I'm like, why would you do that? And then they send in a Swampert, and my brain is like, okay, that's terrible. Swampert, their idea was to save Swampert in the back for the closing scenario. I'm going to shield this one, though, because my idea is that I want to do as much chip damage as possible on the Shadow Swampert. Here's the issue here. None of my Pokemon but Jellicent have energy, and Swampert's going to outpace both Nidoqueen and Jellicent anyway, so I need to really try to do as much damage as I can against this Shadow Swampert. I'm actually going to send in Nido. This is actually pretty crazy. So the idea here is I'm going to send in Jellicent and then Bubble Beam. I'm going to Bubble Beam, and then with the debuff, I'm going to send in Nidoqueen. Because my Nidoqueen is in Shadow, I'm hoping that my Nidoqueen is going to somehow survive a Hydro Cannon. So as you see here, those Poison Fangs go, those Poison Jabs go through. -1 Swampert, and Swampert actually cleared the debuff, which really sucks. But because my Nidoqueen has IVs, it lives. That's one HP in a dream. Even if it didn't live that Hydro Cannon, I should be able to just Hex down. But still, that was really sweaty. I was not expecting that to live. Literally wasn't expecting it to live. As you see here, we lose. This is Shadow Victreebel. If you get the Grassol team, as you see here, you say switch into... Your switch is going to be either... Is going to be Nidoqueen. You give up Nidoqueen because of Scrafty in the back, and of course, you... Yeah. But for some odd reason, my opponent sends a Dragalge, and I'm like, why? So because I'm able to 6-9 420 Magnitude Earthquake through Shield, now my opponent essentially just loses switch. I don't know why you would use Dragalge as a safe switch. Dragalge is not a good safe switch. It really isn't. And then they send in Victreebel. And I can probably guess that you do have Bastiodon in the back. However, because we want alignment, I can go ahead and safely keep away my Nidoqueen, my Jellicent away from that Shadow Victreebel. And I'm guessing that's Bastiodon in the back. All I'm going to do is send in Scrafty, farm down this Victreebel, and then we're going to beat the unholy crap out of that poor Bastiodon in the back. And sure enough, we willed the Bastiodon into existence. Scrafty should just be able to rev up here because we got the extra energy of Power Punch. All we have to do is literally counter down, Heavy Metal Headbutt, dive headfirst into the dub, and I have to force our opponent to top left because they already know it's over. In the end, it didn't even matter. Man, you've come so far and got so far. But yes, like I said, in the end, it doesn't even matter. If you know that song, we can be best friends. And speaking of Bastion, you have Jellicent into another freaking... The thing is, with Jellicent versus Bastion, you actually lose this matchup as the Jellicent, especially now that fast moves will go through everything. So because fast moves, there's no longer, you can't deny anything, you can't time anything, it goes through. And my opponent switches, I'm like, why would you do that? And if your opponent switches into a grass type Lurantis, all you're going to do is send in Nidoqueen. The thing is, Nidoqueen can live a Leaf Blade, and we're going to just be able to Poison Fang down. I'm going to shield the next Leaf Blade, but at the same time, you don't need to give up switch against Jellicent. Jellicent has a hard time against Bastion just because of the fact you have to Shadow Ball through. And like I mentioned, with fast moves being rough, it's really tricky. We're going to let this move through. I'm going to let Bastion take us out because now we win alignment. All we have to do is throw in Scrafty into this we just let the Scrafty into this Bastiodon. We'll fire Earth Power right away. I'm thinking my opponent's going to call the bait here because 6-9 420 Earthquakes, they're dead. I should have that energy. And they don't shield it. And my brain is like, why? Why wouldn't you shield that? So I send in Scrafty, beat down the Scrafty, and we get a Trevenant. And because my opponent didn't shield, that actually gives us a humongous win condition. Like, the thing is, in the even shield scenario, Scrafty has a really comfortable matchup against Trevenant because you can eat a Seed Bomb. They can't eat a Foul Play. So even shield scenarios, all I have to do is Foul Play down, and that gets me the dub. I still have a whole Jellicent too, so even if they didn't eat it, there's still plenty of play here. All I'm going to do is double shield here. I should just be able to Foul Play, straight Foul Play my opponent, and then my opponent doesn't really have an answer. They should either top left and realize that it's GG's, or they're just going to keep playing this out, or just let this Foul Play go. If the Foul Play goes through, this will KO, and it does. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to beat the holy crap out of that poor Bastiodon, and that's game. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. And that's game. You know, I still don't get how... You mean, I like Scrafty's design, the whole hoodie thing. However, the fact that it just does the whole, like, heavy metal headbanging thing is just freaking hilarious. And It's crazy how good, well, Scrafty, it's typing. Scrafty's really good because fighting and dark, and with foul play and power punch, it has a great coverage moveset, and it's really freaking, it's been meta for a long time. But as you see, Scrafty is still a beast, and despite with Trevenant coming around, it's a great core breaker for Trevenant as well as Walrein, and it does really well against the overall Great League meta. That's why it is still, yeah, it's still good. And it's in, literally, I think out of the top 5, 2 of them have Scrafty in it. But out of all of them, this is the strongest Scrafty team. So I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. Hopefully, this team does get you some results, as some of you did really. Mr. and Mrs. Pringles, when they first came out, were very popular, and it seems they're very popular again. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles again, and Open Great League is going to end in about a week. And then you have Little Cup Remix. Ew. But the good thing is you have Open Ultra League, so look out for that Little Cup Remix stuff coming out pretty soon. And yeah, so that early analysis is going to come out, and then I'll have like top teams for that coming out soon. But if you don't like Flying Cup, Open Great League is yours, and if you like Scrafty, this team is for you. Do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I'll be streaming this weekend, so hopefully I see y'all drop in. But even if you don't, good luck on your Go Valley sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.